Next up is arrows and feather, and that's the same thing that we had with the exclamation points and dots, where we don't need any stroke contrast. All we need is a straight pen, and I'm just using this calligraphy pen because I know that it's going to last, or it's going to not give me grief when I go to erase. Now in the printable, I drew the arrow with this little divot right here, but I just started drawing with just a triangle there, so you can do either way. The key is to be consistent. And then we have this little, I don't know, arrow anatomy, but maybe feathers on the end or whatever. And then we draw a feather in the center. Again, you can do this with any pen you have on hand. Doesn't have to be a pointed pen. I'm just using this because it's what I have. And let's explore what this will look like in the other corners. Now let's maybe try to work with all of this geometry here, these corners, by then adding in some curly cues. All right. Simple leaves is a lot like arrows and feathers. You're just drawing these two lines. 1, 2, and then adding leaves to them. And make sure that your leaves have stems in the middle. Again, this could be done with any pen. I'm just using the pointed pen so it doesn't smudge when I erase. And then end with the last leaf. And let's try that on in the other corners. Now if you want to with this one, you could add in a couple of extra branches, or I've just done leaves all the way around to whatever you're feeling is perfect. And that's what that looks like. Okay, now this star beams one, I would actually start with just a little bit of help from your pencil. So go ahead and draw in the corners here. This is a really cool one because it's pretty mid-century, and I think we can come up with a cool way to connect all of these. But we'll start in this left corner per usual. So draw 5 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then make a line. And then 1, 2, 3, make a line, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to make another line, 1, 2, 3, and then make a shorter line, 1, 2, 3, end with a beam, and then a shorter line again, 1, 2, 3, end with a beam. All right, so now let's do that on all of the other corners. And then let's just connect these with some lines and dots, lines and dots. And that's all done. Now for this Arabian Nights one, it's thicker. It kind of looked like 2 swords to me, like from Aladdin. You know, the guards have their swords when they're trying to catch Aladdin getting bread back in the old animated Disney version. So we start with like an almond shape. And then what you do is make a nice big stroke that hugs the almond and ends like a sword in Aladdin. And you can reinforce that if you want to. I just did. And then same thing here. And it ends like a sword. I guess that would be a saber is what they have. But either way, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this, is like Aladdin. And then you end with a smaller almond shape here. And then if you want to, you can add little dashes. This is one of those where you'll want to have a pointed pen, because otherwise it's going to be a little time consuming to try and get that stroke contrast that you're after. And then let's do the other corners. For this one, I think it's good to be a little creative with how we connect this, because the corner elements are so heavy. So we want something that sort of anchors those in the middle here. And then something light that ties everything together. So my instinct is more dotted lines. Yeah, I think you could go a whole bunch of different directions on those connectors, but I'm happy with how that looks. Feel free to experiment on that one. Now we're ending with an embellishment that is really easy to create. You can make it with any pen. It is just a series of strokes here in the corner. So let's make 8 strokes, and then not even strokes, I would call them dots. And then you just keep on subtracting 1 stroke until you've worked your way into a triangle. So let me show you. And you might not even necessarily subtract that stroke, you just make sure that you're not ending up at the end of the line that you just created, if that makes sense. So everything is staggering inwards. And then you end 1, 2. Yep. All right, so let's do the other corners. And there's the stitches embellishment, which we can then connect, I suppose, just with some dots. Why not? And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed today's demo over how to make these artistic corner embellishments and the little bonus of how to connect them in order to make borders. If you want to, you are more than welcome to go to the TPK website and download this Artistic Corners printable. You don't have to have a printer to enjoy it. You can always just pull it up on your PDF reader for reference the next time you are in need of inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.